We start the recording, and we start with the sharing the screen and like this, совместное использование. And we start with the first slide of the presentation from the beginning. And as you see, today we are going to speak about organizing the results section. And we'll speak about what the results section is. So this is the information which is based on Unit 8 of the book and some other resources. And we start with the error correction. So you've presented your graphs, captions, and descriptions, right? That was the home task.
Yes.
To find or to design, to draw a graph. And so first of all, I would like just to remind you the principles that we were speaking about previously. In your graphs, there is no there is no number. You should write the graph's identification number, like figure 1, for example. And yes, it's clear why you've missed this, because that was only one figure, one graph, isolated graph, and there was no need to number them. But of course, you shouldn't forget about this when you include the graph into your paper, right? То есть обязательно нумерация должна быть. You remember that for example, the graphs are numbered separately and the tables are numbered also separately. Отдельно нумеруем картинки, графики, например, и отдельная нумерация идет по таблицам. Там table 1, table 2, они, то есть не сквозная, а отдельная нумерация. And so we were speaking that the caption should go under the graph. И вот эта подпись должна быть под графиком. We were speaking about the standards. So the common standards in scientific journals are like this, that if we have a table, the caption should be above the table. Если таблица, то подпись table 1, например, над таблицей идет. If we have a picture, a graph, the caption should be under the graph. А у графиков подпись должна быть внизу. Вот такой стандарт. So we were also speaking about the grid lines. They should be removed. Вот эти линии должны быть убраны. So you didn't remove them. Anyway, so if, for example, you present the article to a scientific journal, you should clear out this moment, what kind of standards they have. В любом случае, какой-то журнал, если вы подаете статью, то там еще раз нужно проверить, каким образом оформляются графики. Но вот это вот стандарт такой. And so the graph should include only the description of results, only the description. Any interpretation should come in the discussion section. То есть вот что означает или по какой причине вот там вот это что-то есть, вот этого что-то нет, об этом писать в описании графика не нужно. Вот, объяснение идет в другом разделе вашей работы. So, and the task was to design your own graph, and I didn't like that some of the students just found the graph, the ready-made graph, and so I didn't evaluate. Duman, you should create your own graph. Вам нужно свой собственный график.
Это мой собственный график.
Собственный, да.
Это из моего прошедшего бакалавриатского работы.
Думан, so I remember what you are working on. I mean, the topic of your thesis, master degree thesis. So will you please...
Ну, там же написано, типа, можете привести пример из сейчас, из работы, которую сейчас работаете, или уже работали.
Okay.
Я взял из уже работавшего.
That is why I feel like kind of disappointed because it is not connected with the master degree topic that you are working on now. That is why I didn't evaluate, as far as I remember. Will you please think of a graph which is connected with your thesis paper, master degree thesis? Найдите какой-нибудь или составьте график, который именно с вашей работой связан сейчас, вот, который вы пишете. Is it possible?
Ну зачем? Я же старался, какая разница же нет особой.
Вы старались тогда, когда писали диплом, а сейчас вы взяли, copy-paste сделали и все. Где же
там не было description и caption. Я все это написал, я просто график взял сам.
Скажите, а вот в вашей работе, которую вы сейчас пишете, у вас какие-нибудь графики будут?
Да, вот именно там ничего нету из графиков.
Ничего нету из графиков. А вообще так теоретически можно подумать, какой-то график?
Нет, там же у меня на работе же работа с кодами же, а не графиками, какими-то данными. Поэтому я взял старый.
Понятно. Так, ну я еще раз посмотрю. Себе отметить. Ну или сразу я сейчас выставлю тогда эту оценку. Graph. Okay. Okay. So, and do you have any more just remarks or questions about the home task?
No, I think.
I see.
Yeah.
I've just written the comments on the Moodle site, so you might have a look at them. Okay. And so today we are going to speak about sections of thesis paper, and so here on this slide you can see the structure of the main body of a thesis in IMRAD structure. So it presents like the parts of your thesis paper, and you see that it consists of it should consist of these very sections, like the introductory section, which tells us why you write the paper, and after the introductory section, introduction, we have the literature review section. So we were working with literature review, and so you understand that it's very important to investigate what the other scientists have written about this. And then we have method section, which tells us how the research is done. Then the results section, what kind of results we have, and discussion. So we should discuss and the results, and then a short conclusion. And you see that this is the so-called IMRAD style, and why it's called IMRAD structure, IMRAD style, because of the first letters of the structure, which is used in the scientific paper. Introduction, method, results, and discussion. So IMRAD structure. So do you have these parts of these sections in your master degree paper? Do you have them? Yes or no?
Not
Only
all the
introduction.
sections.
Not all of them. But do you mean that not all of them because you haven't finished the paper, right?
Yes.
What parts do you have?
Little bit introduction. Method, I think. Surely not results.
So results, if it is investigation, research, so you should find something. You should discover something. That is why there should be some kind of experiment, I don't know, or some kind of innovation that you investigate. And this is, you should think of the how to organize an experiment. Or in the experiment, it's not necessarily experiment like you take the bulbs and just substances and you mix them together. You can compare something. This is also the experiment. Когда мы сравниваем что-то, что было до, что было потом, это тоже же эксперимент, когда какие-то вот данные появляются. То есть там должны быть какие-то, ну, цифровые, может быть, данные, какие-то графики. Ну, в принципе, они вот у вас уже есть. That is why, Duman, you say that you don't have any just experiment, you can't just draw a graph, but you should just think about the results. What are the results of your paper? В чем будет ценность вашей работы? Какие результаты она представляет? Вот об этом нужно подумать. Okay? And yes, we have the same main body. There is some details, just introduction says, why was the study done? Methods and materials. How was the study undertaken? Каким образом было предпринято исследование? Results. What were the outcomes? Какие были результаты? And discussion. Why is this study significant? How does the study compare with similar studies? Look, то есть почему вот это изучение, ваше исследование представляет какую-то ценность, significance? Как вот это ваше исследование, как можно его сравнить с другими исследованиями, да, похожими исследованиями? Вот, Думан, вот вы говорите, что невозможно какой-то график составить. So, вот здесь вот как раз подумайте, как вы, какие-то раньше были какие-то исследования, да, по этому поводу сделаны, или какие-то коды записаны, и какое преимущество вашей системы кодирования имеет перед тем, что было раньше. Вот это как раз и будет сравнение, да, вот как раз и будет эксперимент, и можно будет делать какие-то выводы. Так, ну, so what does it add or supplement existing results? То есть каким образом вот ваше исследование добавляет какую-то новизну к уже существующим результатам? And discussion section should flow into a short conclusion. И вот это вот раздел discussion должен перетекать в краткую заключительную часть conclusion. Ну, то есть вот такую информацию, so this kind of information you can easily find on the internet. So a lot of paper, a lot of just resources, there are a lot of resources on the internet about the structure. And so you see that there was a results section and discussion, yes, discussion section. And the first question, well, let us read it. Duman, will you read the first question, please?
How is the information in the result discussion section?
What do you think?
Так.
Так. Is the information different? What do we write in the results section?
Result of our experiment. Final result.
Yes. So some findings, some key findings, what we have found, right? And in the discussion section,
we just write about the methods, how we get these results about.
no. Methods. No, methods is described here in methods and materials before, which goes before the results section. On раньше
I know.
In discussion, we compare the
Get it.
What? Sorry?
I got it. I think that discussion is the previous result section.
Нет, discussion идет после result.
Maybe about how these results will be appeared in a real life, maybe, I don't know. How it affects.
Discussion section interprets the result. So it gives your opinion about the results. Yes? So it just explains what the results mean. So result section, we have this and that results, and in discussion section, we explain the meaning of these results. Do you see? Okay, the second question, please, Aidana.
Why do researchers usually keep the results in discussion section separate? Because discussion, it's as we have already told, that is the parts when we are discussing the main highlights of the result. But result, it is the something proof, it's a fact that we have, for example, according to our experiments. So we can discuss, for example, how it could affect, what kind of like advantages or disadvantages has like the something that we have researching has. So
yes. So you say results, they describe the fact, yes? And
yes,
is more objective because it shows the fact. And discussion section is more subjective. It gives our opinion, what we think about this. That is why we separate. So we don't just explain something in the results section. And for example, if other researchers are interested in our topic and in our paper, so they can just have a look at the results section. And then they do not, for example, read the discussion section, and they can only see the facts that we have found as in our experiments. So it's more objective. Okay, so Ardak, what do you think of question number 3? Read it, please.
Why might some researchers present their results and the discussion together as one section? Because after the discussion, when we compare the information that we find, so we write the final result after the comparison of the information that we have.
Well, so first we write the results and then we compare like this. First we write what we have found and then we compare what with the previous, for example, papers. Сначала мы описываем результат, потом уже мы сравниваем вот discussion. Yes, you are not just experienced in writing scientific papers. I'll tell you why some researchers present everything in one section. It's possible when the results section, there is only one key finding in the research. And so there is one finding in the research, there is one result, and so this section is very short. If we separate results and discussion, they'll be very short. That is why sometimes the researchers just make only one section, results and discussion together. Or if the research produces a large number of results, also it's possible to make only one section, the results and discussion, and it's presented like there is subtitle, the first result, and then we discuss this result. Then the second, we present the result and discuss the result, and so on. On every result, there is which is followed by discussion, opinion, interpretation, explanation of the result. That is why these sections are together. And Duman, the last question is for you. Read it, please.
Some paper includes a conclusion section. What is the difference between discussion and conclusion? I think we have two differences between them. First is that discussion is more objective and conclusion more objective. Like in discussion section, we write about our opinion, but in the case conclusion, we write more global idea, and so on. And second difference, I think, is that я забыл. Я что-то хотел сказать.
Okay, you are right. You say that conclusion is more global. In
Yeah.
the of discussion just summarizes the results. So it explains the results, the findings
Yeah.
of the experiments. But conclusion is the summary of the whole paper. It
Yeah.
just concludes the ideas from the whole paper. То есть это conclusion, это не по результатам эксперимента, а по результатам всей написанной работы. Вот это и есть conclusion, да? So it's like it has more general ideas, more global ideas. You're right. Okay. So we should understand the difference between these two, between these all parts, and just try to find, to structure your own paper in such a way that it should have the results, the discussion, and all the necessary parts. And now we are going to read 3 extracts from a research paper and match each extract with the part of the paper that it comes from. So the parts are the materials and methods section, then the results section, and the discussion section. We should understand which section each extract belongs to, okay? So Aidana, read the first one, please.
The majority of the activated carbons examined have surface areas ranging between 900 and 2,000 meters square per gram, and the ratio of micropore volume to total pore volume range between 0.26 and 0.65. Так, so this is the have surface areas. Okay, I think it's real results sections because it says examined.
Yes, it presents some data. Yes, some empirical data. You are right. This is the results section. Okay, Ardak, B is for you.
The highest storage factor attained is 89 for compacted grain-based activated carbons from rain how to read?
Sorghum.
Sorghum.
Kazakh word. Okay.
It's a Kazakh word?
No. I'm joking. Yes.
Sorghum. Therefore, sorghum based activated carbons will be effective for natural gas storage in the fuel tanks of motor vehicles. So Just a minute. Carbons. Is this the materials and the methods section, maybe?
Look at the phrase, will be effective for gas storage.
Discussion section.
Yes, this is discussion section, which explains why we've done this and what's the use of the results that we have found in our paper.
Yes.
Okay. This is the discussion section, and Duman, C is for you.
Carbonization and activation we perform at an electrical resistance furnace under a steady flow of gaseum N2, and there's a samples we contain it in cylindrical baskets made from 6C mesh stainless steel gauze case.
So what is it?
Materials and methods section.
Yes, this is materials and methods section because we have the word samples, baskets. So this is the equipment and materials that we use to organize the experiment, right? So now pay attention to the words which are highlighted here. Examined, ranging between the highest attained, therefore will be carbonization and activation were performed or were contained. So, and the question is, which of the highlighted words or phrases and describe changes to the materials? Describe changes to the materials. Which of them? So if we have some kind of material, by the way, where we have the materials and discussion, right? ABC, which one?
Were contained.
Were contained. No. So changing of something, we do something with the materials by doing what? This is the phrase, by carbonization and this is the change, changes to the material. То есть, когда подвергаемся, вот, подвергается материал вот, карбонизации, активации. So, yes, we are not specialists in chemistry, but this is like, okay. Then we have describe the experimental process. Which phrase describes the experimental process?
A.
No, I mean the phrase.
Examined.
Yes, examined.
The process, to describe the process, were performed.
Yes, were performed. Yes, and were contained. Yes, so they describe the experimental process. So which phrase introduces a significant result? A significant result.
Значительно.
Значительный какой-то вот результат, выдающийся результат. So, should be in B section, right?
Highest.
Yes, the highest factor, the highest factor. So we can use this in our paper. Which phrase introduces the highest and lowest value that were looked at? The highest and lowest value. The highest and lowest. This is like
Ranging
200 and 2000.
between.
Yes.
Not like 900, 2000.
Ranging between 900 and 2000.
Where meter per gram. Yes. This is между. То есть ranging between. This is a useful phrase. If you represent the result. Если вы представляете какой-то результат, то вот результат между самым низким и самым высоким значением. Then, which phrase introduces the researcher's conclusion? The researcher's conclusion. С чего начинается вот вывод.
Therefore,
Таким образом. Итак, да, вот когда мы делаем вывод, вот this is a very useful phrase. Which phrase makes a confident prediction? Prediction, то есть предположение о том, что
Will-
происходит. This
will
is
be,
will be just very easy. Then which phrase means the same as looked at? Looked at.
looked at, it's examined,
Examined. Yes. So
examined.
it sounds more academic, more scientific, more formal word. Ну, можно сказать look at или examine. Это такой более академический стиль. And which phrase means the same as reach successfully? Reach successfully, достигать чего-то. Only one phrase, just
Attain,
attained. Вот this is,
Attained.
for example, for me, it's a new word for me, attain. То есть достигать, reach some successful result. So very useful phrase. Okay, this is about the structure of papers and just some specific words that can be used in different parts, different sections of scientific paper. And now we are going to listen to Max, a chemistry PhD student. He's investigating the development of carbon-based electronics. And his research focuses on the possible use of graphene in electronics. And before writing his paper, Max is reviewing some words related to his research. Do we have any idea of graphene? Duman, this is your topic. What is graphene? You know this?
Yeah, no. It's a nanostructure made from carbon. Yeah, it's made from carbon.
Okay.
It's a nanostructure which have some crystal structure, which made him very strong. I don't know.
Mhm, mhm. Exactly.
Like this.
I'm glad that you know about this. Actually, this is the information about graphene. So I just, this is the allotrope of carbon consisting of a single layer of atoms arranged in a two-dimensional honeycomb grid. So you know grid, сетка, and honeycomb grid, такая, как это называется?
honeycomb,
Медовый.
мед, медовый.
Как соты, да? Как пчелки делают соты. So вот такой материал. And it appeared to be very strong and so very useful. And this is like a bulletproof. Защищает от пуль. Даже вот пуля не может пробить этот слой. I mean, just this is a kind of a metaphor. Okay, and so you see here that first, before we start reading the Max paper, we need to understand some specific words related to this topic. And we should, here we have the definitions, and we should complete the definitions with the words from the list. Dirac point. Do you have any ideas of Dirac point? Знаем, что это такое? Не знаю. Then,
First one.
что это?
Я не
It's a very,
знаю.
very thin.
Dirac point. Yeah, I don't know.
So Duman knows. Then dope or dopant. This is like добавка какая-то. Fermi level. Duman, do you Fermi? Do we know this? Fermi level. Известно, что это?
Yeah.
What is it?
Да.
Расскажите.
It's a very
level
low
where-
level.
Low level. Okay. Mhm. Impurity.
Чистота.
Then,
Примеси, да?
да, impurity.
It's energy level which need to
Yes, yes. Layer, слой, property of something, свойства какие-то. Sheet, list and ultra thin, сверхтонкий, да? So,
Первое это очень.
yeah, this is ultra thin is very, very thin. Okay. So then if we move on to the second, a large thing. Okay. So I see that time is, yes, меньше минуты у нас осталось. I mean that we'll take a break now and then we'll continue after the break. So
It's 3 o'clock.
not at 3, just 5 to 3. Без 5:03. Без
Okay.
5:03 встреча.
okay. До свидания.
Yes, see you.